The human respiratory system is responsible for the exchange of gases, primarily oxygen and carbon dioxide, between the body and the environment. It ensures that oxygen is delivered to the bloodstream and carbon dioxide is expelled from the body. Here's an overview of how it functions. Air enters through the nostrils or mouth, where it is filtered, warmed, and moistened. The pharynx serves as a passageway for both air and food. The larynx contains the vocal cords and helps regulate airflow. The trachea is a tube that carries air to the bronchi, which are the two main branches of the trachea that lead to the lungs. The bronchioles are smaller branches of the bronchi that distribute air within the lungs. The alveoli are tiny air sacs in the lungs where gas exchange occurs. The diaphragm is a dome-shaped muscle below the lungs that aids in breathing. During inhalation, the diaphragm contracts and flattens, while the intercostal muscles between the ribs expand the chest cavity. This creates a vacuum, pulling air into the lungs through the nose or mouth. Air travels down the trachea, bronchi, and bronchioles, reaching the alveoli. In the alveoli, oxygen from the inhaled air diffuses through the thin walls into the surrounding capillaries. Oxygen binds to hemoglobin in red blood cells and is transported to tissues throughout the body. Simultaneously, carbon dioxide diffuses from the blood into the alveoli to be exhaled. During exhalation, the diaphragm and intercostal muscles relax, reducing the volume of the chest cavity. This forces air, now rich in carbon dioxide, out of the lungs through the airways and out of the body. Breathing is controlled by the respiratory center in the brainstem. Sensors in the brain and blood vessels monitor levels of oxygen, carbon dioxide, and pH, adjusting the rate and depth of breathing as needed. The functions of the respiratory system include gas exchange, supplying oxygen to the blood and removing carbon dioxide, pH regulation to maintain the body's acid-base balance, protection by filtering and trapping particles, vocalization through the larynx, and olfaction, which is the sense of smell facilitated by receptors in the nasal cavity. Common respiratory disorders include asthma, which is the narrowing of airways due to inflammation, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which includes chronic bronchitis and emphysema, pneumonia, an infection of the lungs, and lung cancer, which is the uncontrolled growth of abnormal cells in the lungs. The respiratory system works closely with the circulatory system to ensure oxygen delivery and waste removal, maintaining homeostasis in the body.